Hey, my loves. I just wanted to come on here right fast and say this. This message is sort of connected to the other video that I released the other day when God was speaking about false prophets and uh, teachers and leaders and stuff. And, you have people that are just church goers, they lukewarm. They just sit on the pews and just go to church just to be going, and I'm not trying to judge or condemn nobody, but uh, God had been prompting me to speak about the churchgoers, the lukewarm people, because um, don't get me wrong, I know about them because I once used to be a lukewarm person too. I was one for a long time, going to church. In church I had the Holy Ghost and was praying and all of that. And then once I left church, I was seeing it. It really wasn't no limit to what sin I was committing. And I just want to just say that it's not cool. It's not cool to be that way. I was just reading Samuel where God had the people wanted a king, and so God had appointed Saul to be their king. And uh, after Saul reigned for so many years, God removed him and replaced him with David because God had given Saul a command to get rid of uh, a king and get rid of everything that had to do with that city. And he didn't. He saved the king and saved some of the cattle and all of that. That wasn't what God told him to do. So Saul lost his position, his place in the kingdom because he didn't obey God's command. And sometimes, we can answer the call or we can say yes to his will, and we think that we can halfway do something, and that's not how they work. You have to be obedient. Obedient is better than sacrifice. And so if you out here think, because when God give you a command and you don't follow the command like he's giving it to you, you're still sinning. That's an act of rebellion. You being rebellious. And so many times do we as God's people, we go to church or go to listen to words or whatever, and we're asking God to save us. But just like in Samuel, God was in different books in the Bible, God kept saving the Israelites, but after he saved them, they'll go back to the very thing that was holding them in bondage and captive. And so many times do people do that, and that's where we are right now. God is wanting to save the Israelites. He wanting the people to come out of bondage and captive. He want to save them, but you know, uh, you have to do the work. You have to do the work. You have to literally put the work in. People say yes, and they'll be looking for other people to do the work. And a lot of times, that's why people are so stuck in the churches, is because the stuff that they looking for in man is the stuff that they should be looking for in God, because they can get the same thing that they getting from man, they can get it even better from God. But instead they choose to be lazy and don't really want to do the work. They want to halfway do something and not give they all. And so they runs the church and listen to these pastors, and a lot of these pastors is watered down, fake, uh into different stuff. Baby, God told me he was delivering me from um the snakes in the ministry. So if this video come across your screen, I advise you to get your own deep and personal relationship with God. That time you spend in that church, you can spend that at home with God and get your own understanding, get your own wisdom, get your own connection with God yourself, instead of running to these churches, because these churches is not what they used to be. They just not. They not. And I'm saying this again. If you in them churches and you know what they doing and you a part of it or know about it and you still sowing seeds in that church, you know, tithing and offering and all of that, and you know what they have going on after somebody done blatantly told you what they have going on, and you keep running to that church, whatever judgment that pastor get, guess what? You gonna get that same judgment. God ain't leaving nobody out, and He want to save His people. But you know, you have to be willing to do the work. After He done gave you the word, that He did part of what you needed by sending you a prophet or a pastor or somebody to tell you and enlighten you about what's going on. But they can't do the work for you. You have to do the work for yourself. You know, some people don't even, truthfully speaking, sometimes I be wanting to do people really, really want to be saved on the cool. And don't get me wrong, I know these people that's doing witchcraft and all that stuff, they have a way of manipulating people, but yeah, nah. Somebody tell me something about somebody, I'm gonna pay attention and I'm gonna observe it and I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna watch it and do and move accordingly. I ain't gonna keep on entertaining it. But, you know, different strokes for different folks. But that's all I wanted to come on here today and say. Now, hey, listen, I love y'all. And it ain't nothing you can do about it. And I gotta be great on purpose. And peace.